Well, good is subjective. Here.
You're in America.
I am present.
I like a new gum shield. I thought the one that is white. One that's got one of these little tails. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods and buy a whole bag. And the gum shield America, you need a tail. Hang out with concentration now, and also you'll know.
I never lost the first time I was here.
I know it was like.
I have not been paying attention.
Don't tell the official. I mean, but the problem is this one. Every time I buy it, more expensive. Well, the last 15 minutes was good. I'll get a new set. Unless you're Dan McCauley, who's able to predict you all kinds of things. That was not what I was talking about. I was talking about your bet last night. She's the owner. That's why we have hand signals. Because Mouse is going to be full of buttons.
Ask me to call it trips and stuff, and I'm going to be like, quads are the trips.
Anything else? No, this is
The Germans premier. On a bomb, but he's got his pants on and everything else. He's like looking for Should I call when you want me? Do you want me to make the call?
You've been in one too many color watches.
Oh no, you haven't been in enough watching.
Yeah,
it's like I put it in guitar, but forget about it.
That camera's going to be all their hands in as a choir set, finger movements.
You got another? So that was really one of the
Dosage is 2 if you want. That was a dream last night. That was really
Love you, Max. Stop telling everyone that.
There's not going to do it. Not the super coach.
Why you love it secretly? You retire, you're going to be unpacking on this.
Never hit the field line! All day long! On the line! On the road line! Offense line! Defense line! Gonna win line! Fuck the Rebels line! All day long! All night line! All day long! UCD!
You try telling these teams that this game is meaningless, and they will laugh in your face. Hi, everybody. I'm Max Wolpoff, the voice of UCD American football, and we are honored to bring you today's regular season finale between University College Dublin and the home team, the Dublin Rebels, dressed in their home blacks. UCD today in their road whites with yellow numbers. We've had some camera-related connection issues, so bear with us. It's, I believe, on UCD at the field to get a stronger connection, but one might not be available at De La Salle Rugby Football Club. So today, we have a very special cause to join us today. All donations made during today's stream will benefit Leukemia Lymphoma Northern Ireland. We tried to do this during the Belfast Trojans game earlier in the season, but the camera fell over and broke before the game started, so we couldn't hold a stream, so we couldn't hold a benefit. UCD will open with the ball on offense. I do not have anybody for the Rebels aside from their quarterback that I know from last year, as the screen goes blurry and I'm not 100% sure what happened. But it results in a return. UCD will have the ball to begin today's game. At quarterback, they're led onto the field by Aaron Mooney, and today he's got a bit of a hodgepodge receiving core. A lot of regular starters, Jack O'Riordan and Jefferson Freeman, will start on his right. Sean McVeigh will be on the left alongside Dara Mooney, Aaron's older brother. Jack Finnegan will be the first leadoff on running back crew today. Stephen Alenki, Alex Said McGuire, Liam Butler, Carl Mallon, Camille Cherpiche go the offensive line from left to right. So hopefully the camera doesn't give us too many issues today, but between connectivity issues at the field and potential connectivity issues where I am broadcasting today's game from Delaware, this is going to be an interesting final game of the season, and we've already lost the camera before the first play from scrimmage. So I might be just hosting the game rather than talking about it as it happens. But here we go with a blurry camera. Mooney's got, I think, 2 receivers each side. He gets the snap, throws it to his left, and it skips low, incomplete for first down. Yeah, this is going to be a constant battle the entire day. There's nothing I can do from here to help the camera connection at that end of the field. So I'm really hoping we don't have to go to our last resort, which is having a text chain and just everybody looking at me while the game is going on. I really hope we don't have to go to that today, as this is going to be second down, I believe, as the longer the camera doesn't work. So that was positive yards. Whatever that was, it was positive yards of about 3. So 3rd and 7. UCD decent field position to start today's game. Midfield is the 45, as this is a converted rugby field. 3 receivers in a bunch formation, all wide out left. One in the backfield, pistol with Mooney. Snap, got a little time to throw, going one-on-one down the right sideline, and it is incomplete. Looks like it's going to be the first punt of the day for the UCD offense. I got a bad feeling we're just going to be having some issues the entirety of today's game, as yet again, the camera decides that it's not important to do its darn job. Who can give text up? This is not going to go great today. I'm asking one of the coaches who can give text updates, because we may have to scrap being able to show the camera, and I may just have to come back after a few hours and do the game in a recorded fashion for all of you, because this is not great. Lovely. So anyway, good to see that people are at least in the chat and joining us, and I guess the punt return was good for the Rebels because they're setting up in great field position. It's about where UCD had the ball at the end of their possession, and onto the field comes Sam Doran and the Rebels offense. The Rebels did not provide me with a roster leading into today's game, despite reassuring me that they would once it was ready. Handoff right side, and it's into the line. Not a whole lot of yards. The scrum pushes him back, a maximum gain of about 4. So still no score. This is each team's first time with the ball. Quarters last 12 minutes in American Football Ireland rather than the usual 15 that my fellow Americans might be used to. Today's final game of the regular season for both squads. This is a relatively meaningless game as far as playoff position is concerned. Rebels can win this game and host the semifinals against the Louth Mavericks. As I assume that was just an incomplete pass because there's Sydney Pindy, one of the corners today, bringing the ball back. So 2nd and long becomes 3rd and long following the incomplete pass. This is really difficult to track and follow and understand what's going on. And we've lost the camera. So yeah, this is going to be a case throughout, I guess, the entirety of today's game. So while we're waiting for the camera to come back this time, I'm going to just tell you all, today's game is It's All About a Cause game, which we tried to do against the Belfast Trojans earlier in the season, but our camera fell and broke and ruined the ability to have a broadcast at all. So a lot of good benefit stream is if there's nothing to talk about. So instead, we're hosting it today for our final game of the regular season. Donations made during today's broadcast will benefit Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. This is to benefit Patty Sweeney's father, Brendan, who passed away from the disease earlier this year. As the 3rd and long play has got to have happened by now. I'm in a really tough spot. So I'm telling everybody the camera connection's not working, and this is again, Ms. Watchorn, this is a really tough spot for all of us to be in. Like, again, I'd love to be able to showcase the game that we're having today and to make the point that this is a benefit stream for UCD as well as Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. There's a lot of great stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know what to do about all of this either. Like, again, they've got a bake sale set up at the game for people who are there, and I'm sure everything is delicious. I wish I was there myself to partake. But right now, I've got nobody who can provide text updates for today's game, which is a real shame. This is not going great for today's opening quarter. Not a clue what happened. The last play, we had even an inkling of understanding of what was going on. Was a 3rd and long for the Rebels in UCD territory. And that was several minutes ago at this point. So, this is... All right, let's open up an early question period. So if you've got questions, send them my way, because this is not how any of us really pictured today would be going. I was really hopeful to be able to bring you this game. This is going to be the last regular season game of the 2026 season. our next stream is going to be for the semifinals, which is going to be UCD Dublin, UCD versus the Belfast Trojans. I almost said Dublin Rebels out of habit. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I'm not 100% sure what the issue is. I've got strong internet here, but my strong internet isn't going to help. All right. All right. I have. So Finnegan ran to get a first down. So I assume UCD has the ball. All right. And Jack O'Riordan with a 10-yard run. All right, I'm asking what happened on the Rebels' first drive because right now we are not able to bring you the game. Okay. Interception was the result of the Dublin Rebels' first drive. So there's still no score. Brandon, the stopping of the stream isn't going to help the camera connection issues at the field. UCD is on the 35. Pass to Sean McVay is broken up, second down. All right. UCD, nuts. I heard it in my ear that they were back, and I was wrong. The camera has still decided not to cooperate with all of us. Yeah, stopping the stream on my end isn't going to help the internet connection issues on the other side. Fitting in with a run for 9 yards. It's 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1 coming up here for UCD. UCD punted on their first drive. Rebels were then intercepted. I am waiting on word about what might have happened. And there's oh dear. I'm actively trying to stage manage a lot of stuff going on. Okay. So now we've lost sound from the camera. Well, that's not good. I have the sound unmuted on my end. So again, this has not been going great today. Now, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Let's see if we can catch this play. I assume the play has begun because the figures are moving on this very gray screen. What happened? All right. I'm getting text updates that it is 8-0 UCD. Apparently there was a touchdown plus a 2-point conversion, but we were not able to see any of that. The pass was from Aaron Mooney to Dara Mooney, and the 2-point conversion is a throw to Jefferson Freeman. So it's an 8-0 score. Again, this is not an ideal format, but this is just an extended question period. So if y'all got questions, put them in the chat. I guess we've got time to discuss them today because the camera has decided that to not connect to the internet. I say that as if the camera is sentient, like Lily is in the new Toy Story movie, which if you haven't seen, it's a good one. Yeah, this is really not ideal for any of us, but UCD today with a victory can secure a winning season above the 500 mark. A loss today would drop the team to 4-4, which would still be not a losing season, but would not be a winning season either. Let me at least give everybody something to talk about. This is this is just not ideal for anything we've got going on today. So I'll put the donation graphic up. Maybe with some of the money next week during the semifinals or from last week, we can afford a better internet hotspot that would work throughout the Republic and maybe in the northern counties, because we're going to need that next week or next game. Kickoff returned by the Rebels to the 21. So they'll start with not great field position, but still okay. Yeah, the camera is intermittent and all right. Yeah, the camera's been really intermittent throughout the course of the day's game. It has not been an ideal scenario to be in. Let me cut into this. Yeah, we are several minutes behind the live action. Normally it's about 30 seconds if the internet strength is strong. So Will Lambert is kicking off for UCD. All right, the camera has stabilized somewhat. Come back to life a little bit here. Yeah, this is, and we've lost it again. All right. So first down was a pass for 10 yards. Rebels get a first down. They're now on the 31. A loss on the next play, tackle made by Patty Sweeney, who is in today's game at defensive end left. Camille Cherpiche started at that position, but with the low numbers for UCD, they're going to be rotating a lot throughout the course of today's game. Yeah, believe me, King Curly, I'm aware. Again, I don't know how to fix this on my end, as opposed to, like, listen, the camera's capturing the video, and that's not the issue. The issue is the connection to the internet to then provide the video to me live, which wouldn't be a problem if everybody in the audience was okay with waiting for the game to go final and them being able to send me the video through the club's subscription to VO, which I could do that. It would really change my schedule a little bit, but I could do it. Pass to nobody in particular on third down, so that's going to be likely a punt coming up. So now it's third down, sorry. Third and long coming up for the Rebels. It's an 8-0 lead. The quarterback scramble gets 7 yards. Rebels still coming up on fourth down, but they might be in adventurous territory here. It may or may not be. Rebels will punt. All right, so they will bring on punt formation here. Who's got questions? This was an unexpected start to my day. I was really hoping we'd be able to bring you the full game, but if we're not able to do that, then the best we can do is still have a good time. I will once again remind everybody, as the change of possession is about to happen, today's game is It's All About a Cause game. All donations today will be made to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. This is a charity near and dear to the hearts of many, and including UCD veteran Patty Sweeney, whose father passed away from this earlier this year. We were trying to do this on the Belfast Trojans game. Let's see what we can do here. All right. The camera is back for a brief moment. So Rebels called a timeout prior to the punt, and unfortunately that meant our camera also called a timeout on this game and decided not to talk to us. Boy, who's got questions? Because this is going to be a very, very long day. They're going to go for it.
Good job, way to go. Good job, lad.
And the team is going for it. I don't know if y'all were able to hear "good job, lads." The offense is going onto the field, so I assume it was a turnover on downs. Starlink might be a good solution. Yeah, maybe if Starlink worked. I'm still not convinced that any of his technology works. Yeah. I'm not normally a live streamer, so the fact that the camera's just on me is not great. I'm not used to being able to do this for the entire game. There's a reason we've only done this twice. UCD on a deep punt. Kyle Freeman, good to see you. Let me put the donation graphic back up and make that. Vote for delayed stream. How many in money donations do you want to make it worth your time? I don't know, man. Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. I don't get the emails of what people donate. Those are handled by that email account is handled by somebody else. First and 10 play is a pass to Dara Mooney, flag on the play, so they'll check that. It is 2nd and 4. Oh, dear. I don't know what you think you're doing. Sorry, one of the players decided to send me a joke meme or a GIF as opposed to helping. Pass to McVeigh, unable to control it, so that means it is going to be 3rd and 4. As the camera came back briefly, I could see it on my end, but as you might be able to tell, that doesn't always help. Yeah, this is not an ideal moment for all of us, and hopefully we can get this fixed by July 5th. Because we were able to bring you the Belfast Trojans game in Belfast with the new camera. 20,000, geez, Hannah, you're really going for it all. Hey, I don't blame you. We're the ones raising the money here, so ask for the moon. Let's push the target as high as we can go. I mean, I know for our pass to Jack O'Riordan, a tackle on him is made. First down UCD at the 33-yard line. So that's 1st and 10 UCD. They're already up 8 by a touchdown pass to Dara Mooney. All right. Camera's back very, very briefly. I am really trying to bring you this game instead of my dumb face. And the camera's lost again. All right. Pass to Finn Bruton over the middle. Hang on a second. Let's see if we can even do this. 2nd and 4, Finnegan run. Hang on a second. I'm trying to do what I can here to bring you this game. I am really trying here. Jack Finnegan, another long run for about 15 yards. 1st and 10 on the Rebels 21. And again, 1st and goal, 4-yard line. Finn Bruton again through the middle of the line, just short. All right. Sam Smith is also there. Catch by Finn Bruton over the middle, and it's the same play. Touchdown UCD. can I answer a video call on my computer and share that? Hang on. Hang on a second. I gotta cancel that. Okay. For whatever reason, all right. So UCD's got oh my goodness, this is really messing everything up. What in the There are so many pop-up windows. Yes, let WhatsApp access my camera. What is happening? 2-point conversion, fake the handoff to Finnegan. Mooney keeps it, runs, and he is over the goal line. So that is 16-0. Okay. We're trying to do the most right now. Banners. I'm going to update the score. It is 16-0. There is so much going on right now. All right. I may need to. I don't know what I'm going to have to do to try to fix this. All right. This is really not ideal, everybody. I'm trying to figure out how to get you all to see this game because for whatever reason, the camera functionality is limited today. I believe it's capturing video because it is occasionally giving us bursts of game action, but it is not showing us. All right. All right. So I'm going to try this again. I'm really hoping to be able to at least bring you live updates. One of the club's officers, Sam Smith, is going to try calling me on WhatsApp, and we're going to try to at least have me be able to see the game.
Hello.
All right. I'm going to mute myself.
Do you want noise?
No. Hang on.
Wait, let me figure out how to do this.
Oh, God.
To me straight away. Yeah, I'll fucking. That was I saw it.
Okay. Okay, so I am able to at least see the game, and occasionally the game is going to be. Boy, this is really not ideal. UCD is on defense. It is second and I believe 9 or 8.
That's super drive. I tried to get to the 2 points as well, but nothing
All right. Okay, so to avoid feedback, I'm having to. Hey, Sam, could you not hold it that way? Just for whatever reason, when you hold it, yeah, perfect. Okay, great. All right, so thanks. All right, so I have a live feed of the game going right now, which is wonderful for me. So it's now 3rd down Rebels. Yeah, this is the most European thing ever. Absolutely, I agree with you. 3rd down, Rebels back to throw, throwing down the field, looking for a 1st down, and it is broken up, incomplete. So this is so European right now. I'm able to see the game on a WhatsApp video call. And the camera down there is me. And this is awful. I'm really sorry, everybody. Sydney attempted to catch it. Wide receiver brings him down. So right now, this is 4th down, Rebels. Oh, nuts. Did I? Okay, no, we're back. All right. My phone is going to need a supercharge following the conclusion of today's game. It is currently 16-0 UCD. Punt is on the way. UCD is going to get the ball back. Punt is bouncing. It takes a Rebels hop going down the field. All right, so we kind of have the camera here, but I'm not trusting this camera to work, and it doesn't work. All right, so UCD will begin the possession on their 25, forcing the Rebels to punt for the first time today. This is a Rebels team that doesn't punt a lot. In the games that I was able to watch, the most punts they did in a game was 4, and that was against the Belfast Trojans. A lot of times they go for it, and other times they just turn the ball over. Yeah, we may have to just do the game later. I'll just have to iron this shirt again because I'm sweating through it already. This is 1st and 10, UCD from their own 25, as I am thankfully able to see something going on here. And a timeout, Rebels, their first of the half. That is their first of 3. This isn't going to be an extended question period with donation graphic up because, goodness gracious, this is not an ideal way to go about anything. I'm really sorry for everybody who tuned into this hoping to see football. But if you came here wanting to listen to my voice, more than happy to oblige because you're going to be hearing a lot of me. Yeah, today we're raising money for Leukemia Lymphoma Northern Ireland. I've said this a bunch and you're going to hear me say it even more. It's the reason I'm wearing a green and orange tie, as green and orange are the colors of leukemia and lymphoma respectively, or though I might be having that reversed and mixed up. It's 1st down, again, UCD, from their 25. 2 receivers left. I believe it's going to be 2 to the right. Rebels, I believe now they now have 1 timeout. It's still the first quarter, by the way. So the Rebels have now taken 2 timeouts as Sam Smith, one of the club's officers, is at the game on the Rebels sideline, elevated in a position, running play, left side of the line, and it is a decent gain. No, 1 yard, only 1 yard. Still, it avoids a tackle for loss. On Wuka with the run brought down right away. Yeah, this is about as not ideal as it could possibly get for any kind of streaming broadcast. Mooney, long pass, and down the sideline, contact at the point of attack. I don't see a flag being thrown, so it looks like it's just going to be 2nd and 10, going to 3rd and 10. Oh, man. Okay. It looks like, is this the second quarter or is UCD on? I am so confused because I'm watching a WhatsApp video as well as trying to keep up with what's going on. Oh, right, because Sam's on the other side of the field. So this is now the second quarter. So give me a second to update that. Yeah, I may have to just do reverse engineering of this commentary. So, all right. For whatever reason, we're having a lot of internet related issues. UCD is going to call a timeout as they're confused on what to run on offense. So they're now on 3rd and 10. It's going to stay that way as UCD calls their first of 3 timeouts. Mooney to throw, and it is not caught. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what to do right now, so I guess extended question period for anybody who's got it. UCD is lining up their punting unit. So it'll be 4th and 10. UCD unable to get any positive yards on this drive after forcing the Rebels to punt. They only punted twice in their win over the Knights, twice again in their win over the Vikings, and twice in their win over the Admirals. They didn't punt at all in their victory over the Craigavon Cowboys. UCD sends the ball away. It takes a UCD hop, and a nice one at that as it rolls toward the Rebels sideline and is downed inside the 20. Great punt, Sidney Pindy. And one of those, the one time they lined up in punt formation against the Cowboys, the Rebels faked the punt and threw for a touchdown. However, the person who did that was Sam Kolakidis. No, it's Jason. And he is now back in the United States. So they don't have the person who did that. And he was one of the few people I knew from last year's team. So that doesn't help getting the roster for this year's team. Yeah, there are people at the game. This is super not ideal for really anything. All right. Rebels have the ball. This is their 4th time with it. First down. They're launching a deep shot down the field, and it is intercepted. Big interception, UCD. Returning it. Going all the way. Down inside the 20. Down inside the 5. Down inside the 10. And it looks like UCD's got a pick 6. Indeed. Pick 6, Sidney Pindy. Second interception of the Rebels today. That is returned for a 22-point advantage here in the second quarter. So they will line up to go for 2. As the commentary I'm getting from Daniel McCauley, one of the coaches, is that the ball was thrown directly to him, LOL. And for those of you wondering why you're seeing my face, we are having a lot of camera connectivity issues. So one of the club's officers is calling me on WhatsApp video. Oh boy, my phone is going to be dead by the end of this game. This is just great, everybody. UCD lines up for 2. Mooney throws middle of the field, and it is broken up, incomplete. So it stays a 22-point advantage for the students who are looking for their 6th win of the season. Actually, no, sorry, I'm bad at math. It would be their 5th win of the season. They'll look for their 6th win in the semifinals against the Belfast Trojans. As, again, neither of these teams can change their opponent for the semifinals. The Rebels are locked into facing the Louth Mavericks. The Trojans are locked into facing UCD. It's really more of a question of if the Rebels win this game, will Louth host, as their game against the game between the two of those squads was supposed to be held in April. And then for whatever reason, Louth's home field was made unavailable. I am not privy to a reason why. I'm not 100% sure what the cause of that was. But depending on the source you consult, whether you consult the AFI website, they still say the game is postponed. If you consult the Under Center podcast, they say the game has been forfeited. And if it's a forfeit, the Mavericks lose a standings point as well as lose the game. So there's a big old bunch of I'm not sure what's happening as the camera's back. All right. The camera is back, and I believe this is I think this is the 2-point conversion that we didn't see. Again, I'm having a hard time monitoring all of the separate feeds because the video that Sam is showing me is live from the field. The video I get from VO is at least 30 seconds delayed, and we've lost the camera again. So this is not great, and I'm really sorry for everybody who tuned in hoping to watch football. And believe me, I do this to watch football. So I'll put the donation graphics back up as I just am attempting to understand what's going on here. We're thrilled all of you have decided to join us. Doran back to throw, and it's a short toss. There's a flag on first down for the Rebels. Ah, boy. Who's got questions? We've got, I guess we're going to just hold court for the next hour plus, as it is second quarter of action. Holding Rebels on the previous play, so it'll be 1st and 20 as UCD takes advantage of the penalty. I'm hesitant to stop the video call, but the camera is back right now, and this is the all right. And we've lost it again. So we get it for a short burst, we lose it, and now we're still in deep trouble. Duran scrambling on this 1st and 20 play. He pitches the ball, and it's a tackle for limited gain, if any, on 1st down. Let me turn my phone around and see the lovely views we've got here. Looks like a very nice day in Dublin, at least. So that's something. This is really this is really unfortunate. But if you've got questions, we're in the second quarter. We're not at the 2-minute warning yet, so hopefully somebody can figure this out by halftime, because I would love to be able to show you yet another UCD romp. But as of now, it's still just 22-0. UCD on top. They've got 2 offensive touchdowns and 1 defensive touchdown, trying to get their bodies and minds right for their semifinals match against the Belfast Trojans, who they have lost to by a combined 90-something to 16. And second down play goes nowhere in particular for the Rebels. Oh boy. Yeah. Today's stream is still a benefit stream. We're going to try to do the best we can with the donations. Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. We are raising money to benefit Leukemia Lymphoma Northern Ireland. This is an unfortunate issue that we're having right now with all of us at this club, where the camera connection is not working. The camera's working. It's gathering footage as Duran scrambles on 2nd and long, launches a ball, and it is either incomplete or he's sacked. I don't know which one. Okay, Will Lambert with a sack. I can very faintly hear, because again, there's a lot going on right now. I really wish that this was not as poorly produced as it is right now. Like, I aspire to higher standards than having a video call with the club officers as I talk about it. But at least the video's live, so that's a positive compared to the delayed feed we normally get. All right, and UCD scrambles for, and this is a punt. Rebels are at 4th down. It's a punt to about midfield. It takes a bounce for UCD, and it rolls out to the UCD bench. So now Sam will move into position to try to see the UCD offense go back out onto the field. This is going to be their 5th time with the ball in this half. That's a lovely room. Yes. Yes, it is, Durthang. It's a very lovely room. I'm really hoping to be able to give you the full game when we get footage for it, which will probably be in way later today. It's not going to be in the next few hours. It'll likely be uploaded overnight for our Irish viewers. It might be, again, it's going to be a late one today. I'm thrilled that those of you who have decided to join us are still with us. It is a 22-0 lead UCD. First down is a run play for some positive yards. Yeah, we've got time for questions because we don't have football to talk about for a bit. Again, I'm able to see the game, which is great, but part of the joy of sports commentary is to be able to show all of you the game as well. Dan, why are you sending me photos? And a long throw. Okay, Freeman catches it. I can. Let me turn my microphone on very briefly. Sam, I can kind of hear you, but I'm trying to keep your volume low so that there's no feedback. All right. So I got a thumbs up from Sam. She caught that. All right. So it's 1st and 10 on the Rebels 30. Jeff with another catch. Oh, so that did happen. Okay. So Jason, thanks for pointing this out. The clubs did get an email that Mounds and Rebels was officially forfeited, and as a result, Rebels should be hosting. You're correct with that. Okay, so pass downfield to Finn, and that is a out of reach pass, 2nd down. There are so many people trying to get my attention. One of my Scottish friends was in Boston last night for the World Cup game against Morocco that he is not thrilled about. 3rd down is second down is an incomplete pass. So this is, I think they're going to move it to 4. Oh man, this is just not great. So yeah, Rebels should be hosting, which is, I think, the point that Jason was trying to make and the point I was trying to make. But again, depending on the source you've been consulting, has been like, what's the actual status of this game? So I have it from one of the players in the league who knows me from us working together during the Shamrock Bowl last year. Jason was the public address announcer. Long throw down the field, got a man open in the end zone and is sliding. Did he catch that? Yes, he did. Holy cow, Tara Mooney with a sliding touchdown catch. Well done. And that means 6 more points for UCD, a 28-0 advantage. Save, show. All right, UCD is going to line up to go for 2. Dara Mooney again, getting, I believe that's his 2nd touchdown of the day. There are so many people trying to get my attention right now. 2-point conversion. Mooney rolling right, pitch play, Finnegan, and does he get into the end zone? Doesn't look like it, no. So that is the 2nd failed conversion of the day. It still keeps the score at 28-0. And a Rebels team that has run really well through this league is potentially going to come up short here in their final game of the season, which, again, for the purposes of the playoffs and for hosting, does not matter as much as it did in previous years when these teams would face each other. I remember last year's 2nd game between these two clubs was a game of massive importance for both. It was a big swing game in the schedule where UCD was just coming off of their first and only loss of the regular season to the Belfast Trojans. There were some field availability issues. Man, I wish that there was a way for me to mute the notifications I get from other apps to keep my focus on select notifications. But right now, there's not a way for me to update that as I'm going. It's 28-0. UCD is in the 2nd quarter. That was their 2nd time with the ball in the quarters, their 5th time with the ball overall through today's game. Lambert back to kick. Interesting note about Lambert, he began this year studying abroad at North Carolina State as he sends the ball into the end zone for a touchback. Graham, good to see you again. Yeah, I'm so sorry we don't have the game to show you. Yeah, all donations today in this benefit stream, and if we do get the footage from this game and I am able to show the game itself in a more traditional format, I will again be pushing donations through the entirety of that game. But throughout the course of this live stream, we've had a lot of camera related issues. As I go back to it, the camera still has no connection. But rest assured, it is capturing the video. And we've had this happen before with the camera connection issues. You look tremendously handsome. Graham, thank you. Much appreciated. So yeah, we've had some issues with the camera before, but it has captured the video just fine. First play is a run. Tyron Crooks on the tackle for loss. Crooks today getting a lot of extended playing time, especially with some of the low numbers. Those who are able to make the roster, they get the playing time, and Crooks has taken advantage of that. Who scored our touchdowns? I do know. The first one was Dara Mooney, and I'd have to go back into my texts from Dan McCauley to get the second, but the third was also Dara Mooney. Sidney Pindy has a pick six as the second down run for the Rebels goes for a limited gain, if any. It might have been a loss. Kean Lawler on this tackle for loss. This is his first game with the team this season. Lawler has been on the team previously, and he sent me a little blurb about his time with the team that I am now forgetting and I'm unable to access because I am using WhatsApp to watch the game. Here, everybody, look at my lovely phone as you see this play. Yeah, Kean Lawler again. What the frig just happened? Third down, they're handing a ball in. It's fourth down. Rebels, they will punt. So 4th and 15, the Rebels have struggled to move the ball today against UCD's stout defense. Again, I'm unfamiliar with the lore, I should say, of previous year's teams, except for last year. And the Rebels are going to call their third and final timeout. Sam, if you can hear me, have we hit the 2-minute warning yet? Thumbs up, yes. Thumbs down, no. We're close. Okay. Yeah, he did mention that he was a player of the year for the Irish Wolfhounds. He did mention that I'll put this scouting report up there. And I'll put this scouting report up there too. Hi, Owen Feely. Good to see you. Would have been a Shamrock Bowl MVP and lost the Rebels, but UCD lost. Big addition heading into the playoffs. Yes, especially with the numbers that UCD has had through the course of this game. Yeah, pretty sure with the numbers UCD have had on their rosters through the course of this season, it's really good to see that veteran players are coming back to help the team with their playoff push. And especially, again, if players are, there's 4:05 remaining in the first half. Punt is away for the Rebels. That is their third one of the day. 3 of 6 drives ending. Geez, Owen, couldn't tell. Sorry, giving you a little bit of sass on that one. All right, it is 28-0 UCD on top. And the drive will start from the UCD 42, which is 3 yards away from midfield because this is a converted rugby field. All right. And the first down play goes for 2 yards on the run. All right, Finnegan on the run. Starting running back today. So 2nd and 8 from the 40. Mooney lines up with 3 receivers to his left and 1 wide to the right. Finnegan, I believe, is staying in the backfield. 28-0 lead. Mooney back to throw. Launches one. Down the field. Got a man. He's open. Touchdown. Yes, indeed. Jefferson Freeman running free down the field. One-on-one coverage. And that is another touchdown UCD. So let me go back and update the score, as this looks like it is turning into a laugher early. 28 plus 6 is 34. I'm not good at math. So UCD is 1 point away from activating the rolling clock, which they can get here if they get this 2-point conversion. Keeping a spread formation, 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. UCD is lining up from the left hash mark for this 2-point conversion. Mooney in shotgun is getting his running back into formation. Back to throw, quick fade, slant, and it is incomplete. So that is now still 34-0. UCD 1 point away from activating the running clock against a team higher than them in the standings, as the offense definitely is clicking for the last couple of games. So yeah, we're closing in on the 2-minute warning. The Rebels have spent all 3 of their timeouts, so they have no more means with which to stop the clock other than incomplete passes. Will Lambert will line up back to kick. Yeah, good weekend for American guys named Freeman. Kyle, the jokes here, I see. Yeah, yesterday was a ton of fun to watch. It was a very good game for the U.S. men's national team to win in Seattle. So I do think it's interesting. Sam just showed me a shot of somebody with their dog at the stadium watching today's game. And right next to said dog is a sign that says absolutely no dogs, but I couldn't read the rest of the sign to see if they were just limited in where they could go. And kickoff coming up here for UCD. They've had the ball 6 times and they scored 4 times on offense, and they've scored 1 time on defense. As Lambert sends it line drive low, it'll bounce toward the end zone. It is into the end zone for a touchback. Rebels seem content to just take the touchback and go to the 25. So again, if y'all got questions for me or just about anything, this is as good a time as any to ask. This has not been an ideal call. 3 minutes and 2 seconds left in the half. I would agree with you, Kyle. Yes, Seattle definitely did show up yesterday. And Seattle's a soccer mad city. They've been a soccer mad city since before the Sounders. They really have been one of the key, one of the jewels in the crown of Major League Soccer and of American soccer in general since professional soccer came to the United States. First down play for the Rebels is a run right side of the line. They get the push they need, and it is going to be 2nd and 1. Decent run play, as that's what's worked so far. So yeah, for those still wondering, the camera still isn't working. And that's why I'm talking to you as I watch a WhatsApp video call of the game. Handoff in the backfield, and he's stopped. What a heavy run into the line. Rebels get nowhere. McKenniff bursting through the defensive line. As Sam is basically acting like a spotter. I'm not having a great time because I'm used to presenting these games as if they are, live. We finally hit the 2-minute warning. Get your questions in for the mailbag, everybody. It's not like we don't have time to answer them now, but hopefully somebody reads my pleas for help and fixes whatever Wi-Fi hotspot that they're working with. Duran fakes the handoff, throws, looking for someone in the flat. Had a receiver, could not complete the process of a catch out of bounds. 4th and about 5. Looks like the Rebels are going to punt. UCD, I believe, has 2 timeouts remaining. So 4th and 5. Rebels punting for the 4th time today. Protection holds, punt gets away. It's a low line drive, and it's out of bounds. UCD content to just let that one roll. All right. So UCD will begin the half. Will begin the half on defense, as they started the game with the ball and punted on a 3-and-out. I'm talking a lot more than I'm used to. All right. UCD's got 65 yards to go for the score, as it is a not 100-yard field. Actually, it's a 90-yard field, so they have 50 yards to go for the score. 1st and 10, UCD, 35 to the 40. 30 to the 40 is where they start this drive. Mooney, toss play. I believe that's on Wuka, and it is a short gain, if any. All right, it looks like we've also got an injury stoppage here for a Rebels player on the ground. Yeah, we're closing in on halftime. We're under the 2-minute warning. UCD has scored 4 out of the 6 times they've had the ball previously. This is their 7th. It is the second quarter. The camera, as you are able to tell, isn't working. We are running a benefit stream today. All donations today are made to benefit. Oh, gosh, Mark Lawless is here. Interesting. All donations today are made to benefit Leukemia Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. We are grateful for all of you who have donated throughout the course of the season to help fund our club's efforts for pretty much everything that we've done. It'll be 2 receivers each side on the second down play. UCD trying to maximize their times with the ball. Mooney to throw. Finds a man, right side, got a man, and it's a 1st down. Good catch and stopped there. So a 9-yard gain on that play sets up another 1st and 10. Clock will stop. Jefferson Freeman again for a 13-yard play to the 48. Actually, that doesn't make any sense on a 45-yard field. 45-yard half, I should say. Motion from right to left, as the motion will go out for a long throw. They'll try underneath, and it is off the hands, incomplete. McVeigh was in the area. I could kind of pick out his number on the low pixel quality. Yes, pass was to McVeigh. Yeah, again, the camera's still not working, so I can promise you milk and cookies, but if the oven's broken, you're just getting milk. We are under a minute to go. It is 2nd and 10, UCD from close to the halfway line. It is there at the 43. Mooney to throw, looking for a long throw down the field in double coverage. Potentially, it's just broken up. Incomplete. So Rebels have no timeouts left. They might still get the ball here if UCD goes for it and does not get 3rd down conversion. (34-0). So UCD's in a really good spot to win this game. Empty backfield for Mooney, so a 5-wide set. Motion comes back into the backfield to help him. 3rd and 10. UCD trying to keep their 7th drive going, likely the last of the half. Pass down the right side of the field, and it is broken up. UCD players are appealing for a flag, and they're not going to get one. Looks like UCD will bring on their punt formation, play field position. No turnovers for UCD, 2 for the Rebels. And the defensive score from Sidney Pindy making a big difference so far. Pindy back to punt. He's on punting duty today for UCD. as drive stalls out at midfield. It looked like someone ran across early, but that might have just been me unable to hear the snap cadence. Punt goes out of bounds at the Rebels sideline. And this will be likely final time with the ball. 34-0 is still the score. Rebels will get the ball to start the next half. So if they can get an explosive play, then potentially a chance to double dip here. There's 31 seconds to go, and the Rebels have no timeouts. I love getting the updates of the clock, by the way. I really wish that there was a way to better track the time throughout the course of these games. That's probably my chief complaint about calling these games, is I never really know how much time is left until the 2-minute warnings. Duran to throw, launching it down the field. Had a man over the top, but the pass was inaccurate, incomplete. So, if y'all got questions for the half, send them my way. We will hopefully be able to have a more interesting discussion than me watching a WhatsApp video call that I can't share with you, because while my camera is being used by StreamYard to show this game, I can't then share my camera with WhatsApp to bring you this game through this video that I'm watching. It's not great. Duran to throw, second down, has somebody at the near sideline, and it's complete. Oh. So 1st and 10. Rebels are still trying to fight for it. Rebels are still pushing here. As they would not have gotten to their spot in the standings at second place without it, at 6-1, including a forfeit victory over the Mavericks. And halftime is called. All right, so the half ends, and UCD is up 34-0. Okay. All right. So it is currently 34-0. Hi, everybody. This is Max Wolpoff, the voice of UCD American Football. And for those of you who are hoping to watch football with us today, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. The camera that we use is not being able to connect to the internet. And as a result, I can't show you the game. I have been on a video call with one of the club officers, Sam Smith, who is also the quarterback of the flag football team, to bring you this game, at least in some respect, talking about it as I'm able to watch it, as if I'm calling it off a monitor. But the internet issues are at the field. They are not with me. My computer is working fine. My phones are working okay. It's disheartening. However, today is still a day to celebrate life, recovery, and research, as all donations today during the stream will go to benefit Leukemia Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. And hang on, it might not be halftime, as there was confusion. And last play of the half, it looks like Duran long pass, and it's incomplete. So good thing I haven't changed the graphics yet, because it is still second quarter. Is it finally halftime? Apparently it's 2nd and 10. So we thought it was halftime. Then it wasn't. Oh boy. 2nd and 10. UCD is defending the Rebels, trying to keep them out of the end zone for the entirety of this first half. Launched throw from Duran, and it is not going to work. It's intercepted, I think. UCD is running it all the way back. They've got it in the end zone. UCD's in the end zone, touchdown. On confusion of whether the first half was over or not, the Rebels were gifted another chance. Pick six, Sidney Pindy all over again. Wow. Okay. That's a lot going on. UCD is going to line up to go for 2. Gosh, I can't wait to show this game when we finally get video and I'm able to do this. 2 receivers each side. UCD going to take this 2-point conversion from the middle of the field as they intercept what is likely the final play of the first half. I believe that's Tygo O'Connor in at quarterback. He's going to call his own number and run right through on the quarterback draw. And did not get in. So no conversion as O'Connor comes in. Probably best to save Aaron Mooney as best as possible for the next game. Oh boy. So this is now halftime. It is definitely halftime now. It's 40-0, and the running clock will start for the second half. So that will all right. Hi everyone. It's still me, and it's still the game. We're still doing benefit stream for Leukemia Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. Gosh, it's going to be a running clock second half as the Rebels attempted a final ditch play, and Pindy, with his second pick six of the day, gets the interception return for a touchdown down the UCD bench sideline. These are the sorts of moments I wish I could provide for all of you, and I cannot because we just don't have it today. All right, let me share the playoff table as I try to do the best I can to bring this back. All right, let me. Yeah, camera connection is not working. So let me zoom in on the league table here and talk about the playoffs. So right now, the league website is not updated to reflect the Dublin Rebels forfeit victory. So the standings should be Trojans, Rebels, Mavericks, and UCD as the playoff seedings are set at that. The Trojans cannot improve on first place because you can't improve on that. The Mavericks lose a standings point, and the Rebels gain 2 as by virtue of the forfeit victory over the Mavericks. UCD can move into it would be 6-2. Yeah, UCD can't move into third place. So the semifinals are set. It is going to be Trojans versus UCD from Belfast, and it will be Mavericks versus Rebels from Dublin. And those matchups will take place on July 5th, which is a Sunday. Sorry, there's a lot of people trying to message me and get my attention. right. Gosh. So the Cowboys are going down. The Admirals are staying up, as well as the Vikings and the Knights, both of whom will come up short in their effort to finish the season in the playoffs. The Knights definitely a remarkable improvement on last season, and the Vikings as well, definitely performing better than they did last year. The Admirals took the brunt of other teams' improvements this year, that they need some help heading into next year. So if you're in the Cork area and want to try out for an American football team that's local, the Admirals might be your best bet. Then there's the Trojans, who are again the class of the league. Last year they had an undefeated march to the Shamrock Bowl. Sorry for texting and breathing into the microphone while that's all going on. Again, there's just so much going on right now. There's a lot to talk about and do. Unfortunately, the VO camera is not working. We're attempting to get it fixed as best we can, but we definitely don't have that going on right now. I'm looking at the Under Center podcast. Last score update was 35 minutes ago. Trojans 14, Vikings 6. I'm more impressed the Vikings are on the board at all. So, as always, our streams are sponsored by Tap House, Bar Kitchen, and Sounds, the proud partners of UCD American Football, the perfect place for your pre- and post-game events, and by Finnegan Menton Property Consultants. Visit them at finneganmenton.ie. However, today's game, the primary purpose is our benefit game. All donations made today are going to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. This is a cause near and dear to the hearts of many, especially to UCD veteran Patty Sweeney. So Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. We've already had donations through the course of today's game. We've been able to talk about this a little bit more because the football has not been able to be shown. I think we saw a grand total of one UCD scoring play, which is not great when they're up by 40-0 in the third quarter of the game. So it'll be rolling clock to begin the second half. Why an unbalanced schedule? It seems like it gives unfair, unclear ranking of teams for the playoffs. So, Mr. Freeman, with that question, because of the 8-team nature of the league, the idea is to have every team play each other at least once. And some of the unclear nature of who the best teams are is by virtue of just population. Some people just live in a place where they have a better organization. I think if you have the connection to the colleges of either University of Limerick or University College Dublin, you are eligible to participate for those schools. But if you don't have a student ID number, at least for UCD, you're not able to register to play for UCD. So some of it comes down to organizational structure and recruiting. I know the Trojans do a lot of big recruiting efforts in the Belfast area and other northern counties. I know the Rebels consistently hold tryouts throughout the course of the season for both tackle and flag. I know the Panthers the South Dublin Panthers, that is, have a really robust flag system, but as evidenced last year, they were running really short on guys to play in the tackle team. And by the end of the season, they were forfeiting games because they just didn't have enough bodies. So it does give an unclear look at who the teams are by virtue of just not every team is created equal. And I think that's some of the assumption of professional sports. Part of the reason that every professional sports league, the wins and losses count the same is because there's an assumption in a pro sports league that every team is equal to every other. This is a bit of an extreme example, but in the baseball league that I'm part of with the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs, there's a team that through just over 60 games this season has fewer than 10 wins. That's not great. But a win over that team, but if there's a win over that team is going to count the same as a win over the Blue Crabs, because there's an assumption that every team is roughly equal to every other. And it's the same in the NFL. A win over the NFC South division, or 3 wins over them, is equal to 3 wins over the NFC North. It just is. Whether that's actually true in the strength of schedule and the actual gameplay of who you're playing, that's not the point. The wins and losses count the same. And in college, because there's so many teams, you kind of can't have that same assumption. So there's committees to choose who gets to be in the national tournaments as a result of those biases built in of the scheduling in the SEC is a little bit stronger than the scheduling in, say, the Missouri Valley Conference. I use that as an example of the unbalanced nature of the schedule. Some of it, who you play twice does make a big difference. I agree with you. And UCD playing the Trojans twice was definitely a short straw for UCD this season, because that's 2 of their 3 losses right there. And the other is to a resurgent Louth Mavericks team that definitely is not 2018's Louth Mavericks team that went 0-8 and was relegated down to Division 1. So again, it's I'm showing the comments so that everybody can have the same conversation and have these more meta concept thoughts with everybody. Because again, how you structure a sports league is a fundamental question of fairness, as well as balancing competitive necessity. Where do you want to just have 7 games as your season? Do you want to have 8? Do you want everybody to play each other? Do you want there to be divisions and have the division winners go? It's not an easy question to ask. These are really super fundamental questions about how you structure a sports team and how you structure a league. And this is a lot of the reason that UCD's post-pandemic run has been really struggling to make the cut with some of the other teams. Like the Trojans didn't start out great following the pandemic. They had an amazing run in the 2010s, winning 5 of their 6 Shamrock Bowls, including 4 in a row. But once the pandemic hit and then the restart in 2022, there was a fundamental gap between where the Trojans were pre-pandemic and where they were post. And some of that is just finding the right players, because last year the Trojans definitely found money with Rayshawn Boswell, the automatic touchdown machine, as Lee Corso might have dubbed him if he was doing commentary of his games. So UCD as a team, they're, I think, better than their record reflects. However, there are still levels to this league, and the Trojans, they've played a great season, and they've benefited in a sense this year from being better than UCD and being able to play them twice. And look, the UCD team last year played the Dublin Rebels twice. First game, UCD blew out the Rebels. Second game, a lot tighter. It took a late safety for UCD to win that game, going from down 1 to up 1. And look, this is just the way you structure it if you're going to play one team twice. If you want to go to a 7-game season, you can. That's within the realm of possibility. You can absolutely do that. But then the consequences of that is, all right, our season ends at a different time, or we're giving teams more break time. Like, is that better for competition if we have fewer games? And those are the sorts of philosophical fun questions that I like asking, because it really does get the juices flowing on how to structure a sports league. So stream donation graphic is back up. We are unfortunately unable to show today's game featuring the UCD and the Dublin Rebels. We've had some serious camera-related issues that I hope can get resolved by the next time that we play, so we're not showing this, we're not doing the same thing for the semifinals, because that would not be great. but we've already had several donations coming in. Yeah, Kyle, again, it's just something for all of us to chat about. This is sort of the forum to do those sorts of discussions. It's a fun aspect of all of this. I think part of the joy of having these discussions in a informed and really understanding way is that it helps us all try to understand what sports are and really what makes a sporting league work, because those sorts of discussions, they are had behind closed doors, they are had in boardroom meetings, they are had at the high levels of philosophy, but they may not be on the table at all times because just there's a difference of opinion about how to structure every league. I know in a lot of lower level baseball leagues, they're going to a first half, second half format where teams can qualify for the playoffs by winning their division in the first half of the season and guarantee themselves home playoff dates for September and October. Meanwhile, that concept would run afoul of everything Major League Baseball has ever done. But in minor league baseball, especially, somebody wins the championship simply because they have to. If it was up to a lot of major league clubs, the season would just end and they wouldn't play a playoff game because, simply put, the playoffs are another risky opportunity to get injured rather than a chance for better development. Not every club views it the way the Dodgers did in the 80s and 90s, where they placed an rather high emphasis on winning minor league championships to train prospects and players that for the playoff pressure. Not every team approaches it that way. That's a lot of the reason that many minor league baseball teams and minor league baseball towns sort of resent the major league clubs, because it makes the lower level teams less competitive. We are at halftime, and I gather that I'm talking to Kyle Freeman a lot, which is typically how these streams go. There's one or two people that dominate the conversation, and everybody just sort of otherwise hangs out in the background. It's 40-0 UCD, and we have not been able to show you most of today's game because of the camera connection not working. The camera has not worked for most of today's game. It has shown very few plays. I'm keeping my phone off to save a little bit of battery before the video call comes back to resume play for the third quarter. Actually, are we? Are we back? Seems like it's been a long halftime period. It was 10:12 when we went to break, at least local time for me, and it's now 10:28 local time. So well, the next time all of you see me. All right, we are back. Okay. Second half is starting. UCD will kick off. The Rebels will receive, and they've got 3 timeouts. We're just about set to get back underway, so let's have some more fun from Dublin with this not ideal setup that we've got going on here. As Will the Drill Lambert send the ball deep out of bounds. So that is deep into the end zone out of bounds, not to the sideline out of bounds. That would be a penalty. So it'll start at the 25. Rebels get the ball. Interception, turnover on downs, punt, pick 6, punt, pick 6. Go their drives from the first 2 quarters. The clock is rolling as a result of the 40-0 lead. As first play from scrimmage is a toss play on the run, and that does not get very far. So it is a limited gain for the Rebels on first down. Actually, the note I'm getting is a tackle for loss, and I can see that it's a 1-yard loss. So, tuning in from Amalfi Coast, Italy. What are you doing watching me in a deck in Delaware? Go enjoy Italy. What are you doing? What are you doing with your life if you're sitting in Italy watching American football from Ireland being remotely broadcast? Mega Natty, come on. You got to enjoy where you are. Be where your feet are, which is hopefully in sand. Second down is a incomplete throw. Listen, having been to Italy multiple times in my life, I am so grateful that I didn't do the UCD flag football games while I was there, because I just was be where your head is, be where your head is. And listen, if you want to tune in and watch our games, I will not stop you, but I will question you. It is 3rd and 11 following the incomplete pass on. Yeah, I get it. Hey, Liam's having a good game so far. And throw is away. They get it to somebody in the backfield, and it's not going to go very well for the Rebels. So for everyone who's curious what I'm watching, this is the game. I can't really, it's a little difficult for me to watch this on here while you're watching this as well. So great way to spend the siesta. You know, that's not actually a bad way to go. All right, so Rebels will punt. This is a team that does not punt a lot, but they send the ball away. Freeman and O'Riordan and Pindy have been the receivers for UCD on the punts, and they haven't had a whole lot of time to actually return kicks because the punts have been mostly to the sidelines to avoid the big play. So the return of Kean Lawler has been so far so good for UCD. He's had a couple of tackles for loss on defense and been a bit of a disruptor. UCD will start the drive on the 35-yard line. Aaron Mooney, I believe, has been pulled from the game following touchdown passes on 4 drives to help the score along. Tygo Connor is in at quarterback today. He wears number 9, and he's only the second of 2 on the depth chart. Eddie Goggins Sr. not listed in the roster today for UCD, although that didn't stop him as first down went pretty much nowhere for UCD. That didn't stop him from getting into the game last week. And when he entered the field, he had not been checked by the officials for that game for his equipment. So as a result, that's a procedural penalty, and UCD was punished pretty severely for it, for fielding somebody who had not been pre-screened by the referees. 2nd and 7, O'Connor to throw, and he'll launch the ball down the field, and it's short of his intended target, incomplete. Results in 3rd down. Rebels did not provide me with a roster of players prior to today's game, so whoever I see on the field, I don't know who they are. And holding on the offensive line, number 62, Carl Mallon, the one being penalized for it, results in, 2nd and forever. This looks like 2nd and 20. Run is stopped in the backfield. So 2nd and long stays 3rd and long. It is first time with the ball for this half, but with the running clock, this second half is going to go by kind of quickly. Again, we're thrilled all of you have joined us for this game. This has been a difficult production-wise game as pass goes just a bit long, looking for the receiver on the left side of the formation. I believe that was Sean McVay, the intended target. Indeed, McVay, the intended receiver. 4th and 20, UCD going to punt. Teams will trade punts on their first drives here this half. We're grateful all of you have joined us, have watched us from wherever you are. I know a lot of players' families watch this, and some of them watch it back afterward if they're at the game. I'm really sorry we're not able to actually bring you said game because the camera connection has been compromised for whatever reason. Punt for UCD does not get very many yards. It takes a Rebels hop toward UCD's end. That is the 4th punt of the day for UCD. They've had 4 offensive scoring drives to go 50% offensive efficiency, which is really good. Especially they're up 40 because of 2 defensive scores. Punt was blocked. So the punt goes short because of the block, and the Rebels get good field position here for their second drive of the quarter. Because of the rolling clock, there will be limited interruption for the duration of the second half, so we're probably going to be out of here a little early. Rebels quarterback to throw, and he eventually gets it away. Pass dropped as it was in the receiver's hands, not able to bring it in. 2nd and 10. Harry Watchorn was on coverage for UCD on that previous play. Among other sports, Watchorn plays as field hockey, which I appreciate him calling field hockey as opposed to hockey, which is, I know, the way the rest of the world refers to it, but we refer to it in the U.S. as field because we already have hockey. It's called ice hockey. And I think this is an interception UCD again. Ball was close to the ground. I'm not sure. The officials are waving it off. It's going to be 3rd down. So no interception, but it's a long 3rd down coming here. The Rebels have already thrown 3 interceptions today. And they might have called it a pick. All right. Sorry, the camera's... All right. Okay, so Pindy did get the interception. However, the celebration is an unsportsmanlike foul. So it's a 15-yard penalty from the end of the play, and UCD starts from deep in their own territory, despite the interception. So that's just lovely. UCD from the 15-yard line, they really got no favors from this interception. They might have been better off forcing the Rebels to go for it. As a run play right side gets positive yards. Not many. 2nd down UCD. Look, we're grateful for all of you for being here. Today's game is a special one. All donations made today are going to benefit the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. Onwuka on a 7-yard outside run, 2nd and 3. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. On this 2nd down formation, O'Connor to throw, launches it deep, and a heavy collision downfield. I don't think that resulted in anybody catching the ball, but still a very heavy collision for Finn Bruton, not able to bring that ball in. Oh, no, he does. It's a 1st down UCD. Okay. So the collision does result in a catch. It's UCD ball. 1st down, runs it toward the Rebels sideline, gets several yards before being stopped. Tygo O'Connor on the quarterback run gets 6 yards. Yeah, this has been a non-ideal day for all of us, and the camera's not broken. It's capturing the video, but there's no internet, so it's not able to bring the video to me. So that's a problem. Finn Bruton with yet another catch. This one gets another first down, 12 yards, as UCD keeps marching down the field. As everybody on UCD is fighting not just for this game, granted a 40-0 scoreline. All right, we got 2 players down on the field after that last play. From my sources there, it looks like one of the players is fighting a cramp, which is understandable on a hot day when you're not taking in enough fluids. But all the players on UCD are still pushing for position on the next game, which is going to be the semifinals against the Belfast Trojans. And what better way to build good habits and good ideas about how to carry yourself than when a game is already won or lost and you're still pushing hard? Good way to improve on your standing with the coaching staff. And that is another catch and run. First down UCD. 3 straight first downs on 3 straight plays. This is UCD's second time with the ball as Onwuka with the run up the middle. Breaks a couple of tacklers. 3 straight plays get first downs, and that's really good efficiency. 1st and 10 at the Rebels 27-7. O'Connor to throw. Fouls a man in the flat and just overshoots his intended target. Incomplete. I believe they wanted Jack O'Riordan, who had a breakout game last week. Nope, McVeigh. McVeigh was the intended target, not O'Riordan. 22, not 80. Yeah, O'Riordan had a breakout game last week against the Cork Admirals, and this 3-game stretch for UCD, 3 games in 14 days, it looks like they're going to rack up all 3 wins. I'll hand off to Onwuka on 2nd and 10, and he will split through the defense, get a lot of good yards. As the chains will stay put, but the down marker moves, it'll be 3rd and short. Third and very short here for UCD. Got 2, and it looks like maybe a jump from the Rebels. Free play. O'Connor launches, end zone, downfield, and I think they're just going to adjudicate the penalty because I'm not sure if that pass was caught. Rebels defense staying on the field. So because of the yardage penalty, it's going to result in a first down. It was 3rd and inches. That becomes now 1st and 10. UCD on the march. This is their 2nd time with the ball this half, 2nd time this quarter. The running clock is in effect. We will be done with this quarter and this half early. O'Connor, toss play. Onwuka has blockers out ahead, breaks out ahead of his blockers and gets a few positive yards. Looks like about 2nd and 6 coming up. All right, I'm being corrected. It's 2nd and 4. Again, depth perception is not a great skill of somebody with bad eyesight, and this is what you get with me. So 2nd and 4, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left after the play went left side. O'Connor launches it downfield looking for the end zone, and he hangs on to it, chased in the backfield, and it's a fumble recovery. Rebels are going to run down the field. Rebels looking for their first score of the game. They're run out of bounds. Stephen Olenke making the run to get the tackle out. As you might be able to hear Sam Smith, the quarterback of the flag football team, as well as one of the stalwart club officers for UCD, providing the spotters notes, as it is a pick by the Rebels. First turnover of the day for UCD of any kind. It is a solid return to set up good field position for the Rebels, their 3rd time with the ball this quarter. The teams will have to change sides when we get to the 4th quarter. We once again thank everybody who has donated throughout the course of this season. Today, we are raising money for Leukemia and Lymphoma of Northern Ireland, as it is a 40-0 lead UCD. They've just given up their first turnover of the day on a scramble drill pass by Tygo O'Connor that ended up going into the wrong hands. Hopefully, we'll be able to bring you the full game later with a recorded version of today's commentary, but the live game, I'm unable to show you the game because of technological limitations as well as camera connection issues at the field. I'm watching the game on a WhatsApp video chat with Sam Smith, the quarterback of UCD's flag team, which will be in action next week. Long throw from Doran, and it is incomplete, as it looks like a flag on the play is going to bring the play back. Yeah, UCD's flag football team next week, we will have those games live. It'll be games from Belfast, so the North Down Dragons will face UCD first. Sidney Pindy with his third pick of the day, but it's offside. Rebels get the ball back in a free 5 yards, so that's 1st and 5. Truly a darn moment there. Pindy almost getting a trifecta of interceptions, two of which he's run back for touchdowns. Yeah, next week's flag football stream will start at 8 a.m. local for me, 1 p.m. local in Ireland. 1st and 5, which was the original distance to go for football when it was first being played. Rebels drop back to throw. They throw it short. It's incomplete. Wanted to throw at the line, trying to get receivers out ahead to block, and could not get the reception to let the blockers do their job. It'll be 2nd and 5. And the quarter is over. So both teams get the ball twice for 2 drives in the quarter. All right, so the benefit of the rolling clock, we are going to be done quickly. So it's 40-0. Still 40-0. UCD on top. Thanks, everybody, for sticking with us through a lot of technical difficulties throughout the course of today's game. Our camera that we normally are able to show games with, it isn't broken this time, which is the last time we tried a benefit stream. And instead, it is just not connecting to the internet. So the camera's fine. It's capturing the video. We should be able to get a recorded version of commentary up at a later hour, probably later today, maybe later tomorrow. Depends on my schedule a little bit, because we were hoping to be done with this game at a precise time so that I could spend time with my grandparents, who are celebrating their 71st wedding anniversary this year. As it is a run right side, Rebels get a lot of yards. It's going to be a 1st down. So Rebels with the run, that gets them the 1st down. Still trying to find the end zone for the first time today. They got close. Sometime in the second quarter, they got close, but turned the ball over. I don't want to take this as a sign that we should stop running benefit streams, simply because the 2 times we've tried, the camera has failed us both times. Quarterback run on the fake toss play. He gets positive yards breaking through the line, and that is a 8-yard gain for 2nd and 2. Maybe a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. Yeah, this is really unfortunate that this is the format we're going with for our final regular season game. We're hopeful that for the semifinals, when we get confirmation of day of time, I will make the live stream link for that. It will probably be a 2 p.m. local start, meaning it'll be a 9 a.m. start my time. Duran pump fakes, throws, catch, and it is complete inside the red zone. Rebels are knocking on the doorstep today. Down by 40. The Rebels are just trying to get something positive here. We are in rolling clock territory. Both teams had quick drives for the third quarter. Michael Harvey on the stop. It'll be 1st and goal from the 6. We're grateful all of you have stuck with us for the duration of today's game. Rebels from the 6-yard line. They'll try to plunge it forward, and UCD's defense is too smart for that. They're not going to let that play get anywhere. Second from the 5, it looks like, as Duran just tried to make a running play out of it and could not get further than Camille Cherpiche. It's still 2nd and 6. Rebels probably going for it. It's go for it territory down by 40 for sure. Just trying to have something positive to take away from this game because they got run over in the first half. Play right side, and it doesn't look like they get anywhere. They might have lost yards too. Bit of a pile up after the play, and Pindy gets the tackle. 3rd and goal. UCD defense definitely playing for pride here, as they're coming off a shutout of the Cork Admirals last week, a 50-0 stop. So UCD has put in their big personnel. And the Rebels are calling a timeout. First of their 3 this half. These are the only, other than injuries, timeouts are really the only moments where they're going to stop the clock in scenarios like this. So again, thanks everybody for joining us for today's live stream. I was going to say game because, well, normally that's what this is. However, we are unable to bring you the live game. The camera did not break this time. It merely stopped connecting to the internet, which is about as bad when it comes to the results. The Rebels have taken their first of 3 timeouts in this half. It is a rolling clock situation because UCD is up by 40. Today's game is a benefit game. We are collecting donations to Leukemia and Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. A huge thank you to all of our viewers who have donated already. And a huge thank you to our viewers who will donate throughout the course of this game. And hopefully when the actual game is up, when I'm finally able to do the regular commentary that I'm used to doing, I'll probably be wearing this exact same suit as soon as I get out of it for the duration of the day and wait for the game to be uploaded to our servers. Yeah, this has been a difficult day for all of us. And again, every euro donated today, every dollar donated today is going to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. However, if you want to go back on our previous streams and donate to help club finances and to make sure we have working hotspots for games like this, that would also be appreciated. But today is all about the cause, and that's all about Leukemia and Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. Teams are back, 3rd and goal. So 3rd and goal, UCD up 40-0. They've got their big personnel in to try to stop this play. Blitz off the left side of the offensive line. Throw toward the end zone is incomplete with a flag in the end zone. This might be resetting the downs for the Rebels. There's a flag in the end zone to adjudicate here, and the officials are talking it over. as evidenced by the inherent bias of working with UCD. Daniel McCauley messaged me and said it's perfect coverage by Harry Watchor, and of course the ref throws a flag, but that results in the play being for nothing. Ball is placed at the 2-yard line by rule because the foul occurred in the end zone, and it's a reset of the downs, first down Rebels. So Rebels set up. They got a heavy formation right with one wide receiver out to the left. UCD stacking the line, and before the play can begun, it is stopped for some reason. I'm just watching to see what happens here, as I believe just the quarterback is running over to the sideline to talk with his coaching staff. Might have been a second Rebels timeout. Either that or nope, someone wasn't ready for play, but everyone was lined up just fine. This is part of the trouble of not having a live feed with audio. I can't always tell what happens. All right. Looks like first and goal still from the 2. Rebels line up, same formation as before. Duran to throw, finds it left side, and it is broken up, I think. I'll go back to the league table to give everybody something to look at that's not just me. And another pass interference call. So this ball is going to go to the 1 as opposed to the 2. As evidenced a couple of years ago by the Washington Commanders having multiple fouls at the goal-to-go situation against the Eagles, the referees, if this keeps happening play after play, are allowed to award points to the Rebels if it does indeed keep happening. Heavy formation right side. Rebels run a play. They fake the toss and throw it. And I assume it's incomplete. The clock is still running. So the Rebels are taking a lot of time between plays to talk about this. Sidney Pindy on the stop, on the run. It was indeed a running play. So second and goal from the 1. Rebels taking their time, trying to figure out the right play to call. They send a receiver out wide to the left. Second and goal from the 1. And this is a tackle for loss. Fumble recovery. So the Rebels get all the way to the doorstep and they still can't get it in. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turnovers now. Dan Vershu coming up with the fumble recovery to keep the team out of the end zone. Vershu, if you'll remember from last week, had a pick 6 at the goal line that he was then eaten up by the turf monster. So the UCD is not out of the woods yet of not giving up points. They still could be penalized into a safety here because they're so close to their own goal line. But the Rebels offense again stalls out right at the goal line. It is a throw, it is a catch, it is a run, and they get all the yards they need to get breathing room. First down, UCD. Dan Verju, again, with an amazing turnover at the goal line. Anthony Onwuka with the run. UCD is probably going to be more than happy to just let this clock run as much as they can, as an unfortunate injury late in this game. Stephen Alenke goes down, and he needs medical attention. This would not be a good stop for UCD to lose one of their top linemen leading into the playoffs. So this is one of the few moments that the clock will actually stop for the player on the field. This is definitely an unfortunate situation. So we're in a situation right now where it's 40-0. All donations for today's game are going to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Northern Ireland. This is a cause near and dear to a lot of hearts throughout the world. Leukemia and lymphoma affects a lot of people worldwide, but on a personal level for UCD, it affects Patty Sweeney's father, Brendan. And we're grateful for all of you for understanding him, sharing his story, and allowing us to use it to collect donations for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Northern Ireland. We're grateful for those of you who have donated already. We are grateful again for those of you who will continue to donate to this cause after this game is over. But for the second time trying to run a benefit stream, we've been unable to actually show you the football game. Last time we tried this, it was the first game against the Belfast Trojans. The camera fell off of its tripod and broke. And this time, the camera didn't fall off the tripod and break, but it isn't connecting to the internet, which just gives us the exact same results, the inability to show you the football game. So we're all definitely not happy about how this is shaking out. But on the field, UCD is doing great today. 40-0. They've turned Dublin over 5 times now, 4 interceptions and a fumble recovery, as it is a medical timeout for one of the UCD's players to get checked on. The video call that we've been having to see the game is stopped so that, in part, we don't actually have the schadenfreude of watching somebody suffer, but in also part because the person running the camera needs to preserve her battery to try to get to the end of the game. It is 40-0. UCD likely has the result in hand here. The clock will run again when the game restarts. So not an ideal scenario for anybody to be in, but we've got time for questions, probably last chance mailbag for the regular season. We'll be back for the playoffs on, I believe it'll be July 5th for the game. Still unsure about timing. That's the reason the link hasn't been created yet. So definitely a tough way to go for UCD to have such a dominant game and lose potentially one of your top players. All right. Stephen Alenke is being walked off the field now. So at least that's positive. UCD, if there's a spot they're thin at leading into the playoffs, it's definitely offensive line. Their only backup offensive lineman at positions is Will Lambert or Patty Sweeney. So, and they play defensive line, and Lambert's a starter today. So definitely a difficult spot to be in for UCD. There's not a lot of bodies left for the course of the season, but don't tell that to these guys. Don't tell that to this team of a lot of really tough guys who are really trying to make their name in denying the Trojans back-to-back bowls. And it's going to be a tough walk. It's going to be a really tough game next time they play. That's going to be July 5th, as far as I know. I believe it'll be a 2 o'clock local start, and it will probably be, that means 9 a.m. my time. And it's going to be a really interesting setup for me because I've got to be in Waldorf for a game that day. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to handle the stream for this and being able to get to the ballpark on time. We'll figure it out. We always do. But it's just going to be a little difficult. So anyway, 40-0, UCD in the lead. They have not scored any points in this half. Their last score of the first half came on a pick 6 from Sidney Pindy, which was his second of the day. Mooney, Freeman, and Mooney, again, I believe, have the touchdowns for UCD on offense as the game is just about set to get back underway. All right, so we're back. It is 1st and 10 UCD following a good run by Anthony Onwuka. The medical timeout is over. The clock is back to running. Tygo Connor is in at quarterback. Aaron Mooney played the entire first half and led 4 scoring drives. O'Connor has 3 receivers on his left and a pistol back set. From the right hash, he's going to hand it off to Onwuka, who's got room at the left side. He's going to keep going, got a lot of good runs, and he's going to get close to the first down line and make it. He's going to keep running. He's going to keep going. Anthony Onwuka is going down the sideline. No one's stopping him, and it is all the way down. Close to the... They're going to red zone again. Perfect blocking. Gets Anthony Onwuka inside the red zone from deep in UCD territory. This drive started at the UCD 5 following the fumble recovery from Dan Vershu. And on the legs of Anthony Onwuka, it is down to the Rebels 15. UCD is going to play quick. They like to play quick, so this is nothing new for them. 2 receivers each side, motion from left to right. O'Connor gets a sense of what the defense is going to do as the officials will stop to judge a penalty or a timeout. It's going to be a timeout UCD, it looks like. McKenniff is going to come in for Anthony, a false start penalty. So the only thing that was going to slow down UCD on that was a penalty, and that's what happened. So Tom McKenniff, who has been switched to a defense primary player this season, is going to come on instead after the long run from Onwuka. So McKenniff goes back to his position from last season, running back. 3 receivers right. O'Connor looks that direction, doesn't like his first couple of reads, is flushed out, sends a pass underneath into the flat, has a receiver, and it is a catch for limited yards. Looks like they'll get back to the original line of scrimmage for this series, and that is going to be 2nd and 10. Again, a 40-0 win for UCD would be great. He found Jefferson Freeman as instead of... All right. It'll be 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Now 4 receivers after the running back goes out in formation. O'Connor waits, finds a man in the end zone, looking right side. And it is a touchdown, UCD. Sean McVay in for the score. So that makes the score 46-0. Against the Dublin Rebels. This is a really impressive outing for UCD. Entering today's game, the Rebels were definitely, they were a playoff team, and they're going to stay a playoff team as a result, no matter the results of today's game. 2-point conversion is good. Make it 48-0. Hang on, everyone. Flag in the place, so we might have to go back to 46. So officials are discussing. White Hat is walking toward the UCD sideline to make the signals. And it looks like it is indeed going to take away the 2-point conversion. So we'll have to just do that again. Still 46-0, which is still impressive. Call is offensive pass interference, and I don't have the greatest view of what's going on or the angles, so this is just going to be a really, really long 2-point conversion. So they'll go for the 2 points from the 17 yards away. Three receivers right, one to the left. O'Connor launches for the end zone downfield, has a man in the end zone, and it is, I believe, caught. I couldn't quite tell. The camera didn't move fast enough. And yes, it is 2 points secure. So they take it away, and it goes right back on the board anyway. 48-0. As that remains your score. So we're close to the end of this game. As the clock is running, UCD is still going to have to kick away. So UCD scores on their only possession of this fourth quarter so far, and a touchdown throw to Sean McVay. Will Lambert will line up back. He's the kickoff specialist for today's game. As 48-0, this has been a great game for UCD's offense and defense. Defense turned away the Rebels on the last drive. A fumble recovery at the 5 set up the most recent scoring drive. Onwuka got most of the yards, but McVay gets the final punch in. As UCD probably just trying to wind the seconds down and see this game out to the end and get this game in for a safe landing. Return by the Rebels is going to run right side of their formation toward the UCD bench, and that didn't result in much. Thanks for everybody for sticking with us today. This has not been an easy game for all of us. I mean, definitely technology failing us again, and that has definitely not been helpful. All right, a brief break as a Rebels player was down after the play, so the Rebels are going to start from their own 2-yard line after apparently a player stepped out of bounds at the 2, fielding the kick. Apparently everybody missed it, so they allowed the return to continue. So a bad day just got worse for Dublin, as a safety would put this at a 50-point game. There are 2 minutes and 56 seconds left, so count down on your end, everybody. We're looking at getting this plane is coming in for a safe landing. Rebels offense is on the field, just trying to get something to be happy about leading into their playoff game against the Mavericks. Rebels with a run, trying to get breathing room out of the end zone. They get back to the line of scrimmage and not a whole lot further. We're going to be under 2 minutes to go and no time at all. Millie Peach on the run stop with Taron Crooks teaming up. Second down, Rebels, as we're closing in on 2 minutes to go. They will stop everybody to say there are 2 minutes to go, but it looks like this is going to be the final plays of the game. And indeed, there are 2 minutes to go, everybody. 2 minutes left as This is about as complete a game you can get from UCD's team, following yet another complete game last week against the Admirals. Really 3 complete games in a row leading into the playoffs. This is about as good as UCD can be playing entering the playoffs. And his run stopped in the backfield, not enough for a safety. It'll be 3rd down. McKenniff and Peach team up on the sack. And 3rd down on the 1. I think the defense is fighting for yet another scoring play here. I got a funny feeling that the defense doesn't want the cornerbacks and safeties to have all the fun here, because Sidney Pindy has scored twice from the defensive side of the ball. He's also caught the ball a few times on offense. From the 1, Rebels to throw, and it looks like it's an incomplete pass. So 4th and goal, 4th and 10 from the 1, as the Rebels are going to send out their punt unit. This is going to be an adventure and a half trying to get this ball away. I think the Rebels are really just trying to slow walk off the field so they don't have to actually run this play and let time run out. I got a feeling this is going to be a vanity play for some guys on UCD trying to block this. They're not running an all-out block formation. Rebels punting from their own end zone, and they are able to get the kick away. So this game will not end on a blocked punt. So 4 drives in the half: punt, interception, fumble, punt. Go the drives for the Rebels in the 3rd and 4th quarter. Yeah, this has been difficult for everybody. And again, this is not ideal for anybody to be part of this. And I regret that we weren't able to show you this game. It looked like an amazing game for UCD to play, as that is game over. UCD with the 48-0 win. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, Rebels. Wow. 48-0 is your final score, as UCD will go into the playoffs not just with 3 straight victories, but with 2 consecutive shutouts. Absolutely incredible end to the regular season. This 3 games and 14-day stretch is over. UCD comes out with wins in all 3 of those games against the Vikings, Admirals, and then the Rebels. This is about as good as the team could be playing entering the playoffs as possible. So once again, we're grateful for all of you for joining us. If you are interested in making a last-minute donation, all donations today are made to benefit Leukemia and Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. I'm going to keep the donation graphics up to end the stream as I normally do. But on a personal note, this is the end of my 2nd regular season calling games for UCD. We've had our fair share of really difficult circumstances this season. We had 1 live stream completely canceled as a result of the camera breaking before the game. We had to do a radio style stream of me reading off text messages for the next game because we didn't have the camera in time. We raised a lot of money to buy a new camera, and that is all because of your generosity. And this team continues to astound and amaze. They finished the season 5-3, which this season is good enough for the 4th playoff spot. They will play the defending Shamrock Bowl champion Belfast Trojans on July 5th. Time to be determined. We will figure it out. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications when we go live, and so that you'll see when we create a new live stream link. It'll be on the page. You'll be able to share it among your friends and family. The playoffs are next. And for those of you who are also interested, I'm going to go into a brief moment here to show you American Football Ireland's website, Clada League. So for those of you interested, next Saturday, the 27th, yes, next Saturday, the 27th, is going to be the Clada Bowl and FINA Bowl final day of playoff groupings. UCD is here. They can jump into second with 2 victories against the North Down Dragons and the Belfast Trojans. South Dublin Panthers are guaranteed to be the number 1 seed in the Claddagh Bowl grouping. The FINA Bowl is also being up for grabs. Both of those championships will be held on the same day later in July. It will not be on the same day as the Harp and Shamrock Bowl, but that is going to be July 18th, which is a little bit after the July 5th game. Listen, we are incredibly grateful for all of you who have been part of our games for the duration of this season and last season. All right, so I'm going to be losing one of my top members of the audience in Kyle Freeman, because the Freeman family is going to be on the scene for the playoff game in Belfast. So again, we're grateful for every last one of you who has been part of our live stream community for the last 2 seasons. Donations today are made to benefit Leukemia and Lymphoma of Northern Ireland. Revolut on the left, Venmo on the right. Your generosity has meant the world to all of us throughout the course of these last couple of years. And we'll be back for the playoffs on July 5th. Thanks, everybody, and have a great rest of your day.